Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, August 29th, 2017.
Disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here, and before I get into today's video, I just wanted to express my sorrow, concern, and sympathies for all of our good neighbors in the States that might be dealing with troubles coming out of the Hurricane Harvey episode that's happening right now. It's really sad to see the news footage, and I just wanted to say that before I started today's video. So we always start our videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I always want to make sure that the market is moving higher overall before I put any new names forward for my own personal watch list. And I like to look at the IWM. I use the Russell as my proxy for the markets overall just to keep things simple and these videos short. So we start by looking at the IWM and we step back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. We've been keeping an eye on this wedge that the Russell's been trading in. These are the monthly candles since the beginning of the year. So we've been talking a lot about this wedge. This is my diagonal line of resistance. The orange line is a medium-term area of support resistance. The purple is short-term, which we gave up several weeks ago. And this light blue line is long-term support that we're kind of ignoring for now. So our focus is really in this area. And as you can see, the candle started off kind of in a squeeze pattern and have been expanding. The candle for the month of July, I think it's important to note, was a doji. And so far, the candle for the month of August is a red one. The futures are well off this morning. I'm filming this at about 8:45, and the Dow futures are off by about 100 points. So keeping an eye to see how this candle for the month of August may shape up. So that's the monthly look. I'm going to pull it into the 1-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving. So this is the same orange line, same diagonal line of resistance up here, purple line of short-term support, which we lost, long-term support down here. So we're just really keeping an eye on this orange line to see if this area can hold. We've noted in the past several videos, now we're looking at the weekly candles, but to keep this, it's kind of a fluctuating overall uptrend in place within this big wedge. Price in the next couple of weeks is going to have to hold this prior swing low. So it's going to have to either be, well, it's already an equal low, but we'll see if it can actually hold. There's a lot going on. North Korea today, Hurricane Harvey, so maybe it will pull us below this orange line. We're keeping a very close eye. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily. I use this blue line, which is the 8-day EMA, as my guide. When price on the Russell is trading up and over the blue, I'm adding names to my watch list. So as you can see, the Russell is currently up and over the blue. So I'm going to add a new name to our watch list today to keep an eye on. Having said that, overall, the dominant trend, because we lost this short-term area of support, let me go back to the weekly, is down, right? So until we regain this short-term area of support and really get going, I am going to be super cautious. So I'm putting a new name forward, but super cautious right here. And that new name we're going to add to our watch list this morning is Louisiana Pacific Corporation, ticker symbol LPX. Trades on the New York Stock Exchange. Many of you have probably not heard of this company, but they are a big manufacturer of building products, and they distribute those products in both the United States and Canada. Before I get into the chart, though, let me tell you a little bit more about the company. At Chart of the Day Cafe, I am all about the fundamentals under the charts I look at. I never put forward a chart that doesn't have the brilliant scores I'm looking for, and this one has it in spades. It's got a really nice high value score. It's got a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 36%. It's got a current PE of 14.26. The only thing it doesn't have is a dividend. I like to see a dividend. It's not a must like value and growth for me, This one doesn't pay a dividend, but this chart and the scores otherwise are terrific. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 2-year weekly chart. You can see that I've got this orange line of support resistance drawn in here. Overall uptrend on the 2-year and sitting at this area that may offer some support. So I just wanted you to see the weekly. What I'm going to do is put a little line in here that would illustrate the wedge, and this wedge is why I'm interested in this chart for the most part. Scores and price pattern look really nice to me. So I'm going to move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 6-month daily. Here's that same orange line of support resistance. You can see the wedge happening here and the breakout of the wedge that happened yesterday. Volume is starting to pick up. I think this is an interesting place to be looking at Louisiana Pacific. So everyone has their own way of doing things. I know that. I'm not suggesting anything new for you, but what I like to see is price move up and over this blue 8-day EMA on a nice, healthy, bullish candle with some rising volume. So I like to see price up and over the blue. When it crosses below, no longer interested. But Louisiana Pacific breaking out of the wedge, rising volume, and up and over that blue 8-day EMA. Like that here. Along with our new watch list pick, we also like to take a look at the sector that it's in. And so for that, I'm looking over at ITB, which is the ETF for the home construction sector. 2-year weekly chart, overall uptrend on the 2-year, and coming into an area that may offer some support here. We will see. But overall uptrend, a doji last week indicating indecision. I'm going to move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 6-month daily. You can see that it's kind of chopping around here. Looks like it's a little higher in pre-market, so perhaps it will start to lift up and over that 8-day EMA and start to resume that uptrend. Big if. I'm not saying it will, just like to see that sector looking strong as well. We also like to look at seasonality, and for that I go over to equityclock.com, which is an amazing site. I love Equity Clock. I will include a link to this seasonal chart as well with my video today. So here's the seasonal chart for Louisiana Pacific. At the back half of the year, it seems to come into some seasonal favor. It looks like it sort of dips a little in September, but with all of this stuff going on in Houston right now, I would have to think that this seasonal chart may start to pick up a little early. I'm not sure if it will, but it would make sense to me. We also like to tuck in and find whether or not our new watch list pick has analyst support, and it is an RBC top pick. So I want to include this article dated July 5th, 2017 with today's video, so you can take a look at that. Also, there was an Investors Business Daily article that I thought was interesting too. It seems like it's gaining momentum and strength by their indicators as well. And so to summarize, let's go back and check the boxes. We started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note that the Russell is trading in a great big wedge, has been since the beginning of the year, in a slow-moving overall uptrend. Price is currently up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart, but as we noted, the candle for the month of August may turn out to be a red one, so you really want to be careful and cautious in this area, and we're watching that orange line. We looked at the sector that LPX is in, the building ETF, ITB. We can see that it's in an uptrend on the 2-year chart and may find some support here. We looked at the chart for LPX in an uptrend on the 2-year chart and looks to be breaking out of that wedge. It's got an amazing value score. It's got a great growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 36%. I don't have this checked because it does not pay a dividend. It does have, I look for a 3 and 8 EMA daily cross, price up and over the 8-day, and a 3 cross. It has that already. Seasonality, I will let you check that box if you want to yourself. For me, it's a yes, seasonal favor. And analyst support, it's a top pick for RBC. And current PE is 14.26. Earnings have not been announced yet. Thanks for watching today's video, and as a reminder, they go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. I do my best to get them out prior to 9:30 a.m. and make them under 10 minutes. If you like receiving them, please consider subscribing to our channel by hitting the red subscribe button. I would love to build a strong and supportive community of fellow quality chart watchers here at Chart of the Day Cafe. With that, I'll leave you. Have a great rest of the week, and our next video goes out on Thursday.